Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the channel. Today's live stream is me and you joining together in holy matrimony. Figuring out if the YouTube live stream is working today. Are we going live? Oh, it seems like we are. Live on the channel today. We're... Alright. What's up, what's up, what's up? What's up, everybody? How's it going? Seems like YouTube live stream is going well today. Don't have to really struggle with getting everything up and running. Looks like folks are joining in and gonna have a great time. The idea for today's stream is, nothing too super important. Just kind of wanted to browse around and hang out for a little bit. So those of you guys that are new to the channel, you probably know that I build a lot of tutorials, and over the course of building lessons over and over, maybe one too many lessons on the channel already, I get kind of drained in creativity and I have to find inspiration on the internet somehow. And one of the best places to do this is Behance. Behance, I've never really knew how to pronounce this, but it's behance.net. I believe it's owned by Adobe. And they have a lot of good ideas on this website here. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure to give them your support. I think you can buy things on this website too. But yeah, so let's kind of say hello to a couple of you guys: Nikhil, Remu, Kareem, Rippo, Justin, Omawali, Hamza. I know Hamza. Ashim Dal. I know Ashim. Joe Yellow, Dev, Rashab, Justin Galley, Ashim, Elanazi. What's up? What's up? What's up? Shender Ramos, it's been a while since I've last seen you on the channel. Hamza, how am I? I'm doing good. How are you, Hamza? Almas. Is it Almas or Hamza? I feel like Almas is more a first name. I could be totally wrong though. Omwally95, I love the Fullstack course on YouTube. That's great. Yeah, there's a Fullstack course on the website too, if you want to check that out. There's a ton of more content that you can, purchase for a small donation to me, and you get access to that. Chen Yulong, ni hao. Hello. Would you consider doing a tutorial on dependency injection? There's already a lesson in the AppStore course on dependency injection. I think I've done it for the YouTube channel too. So I probably won't do it again. You might as well just buy the course and, pay for the course. How to create Uber or Lyft? I don't know. Okay, so what's the plan today? What's the link to your website? It's called letsbuildthatapp.com. I guess I should put it somewhere. Okay, we're gonna do some live OBS. All right, what are we gonna do here? Website logo. Okay, how does this work here? Okay, no, that's not what I want. www.letsbuildthatapp.com. Courses at. Okay, what kind of font are we gonna use there? Okay, Futura, bold. Okay, yeah, there we go. I can't choose a color. Oh yeah, I can't choose a color. All right, we're gonna go with red. Oh my god, what the hell? shadow. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's live OBS, guys. Zheng Zhong. Hello, hello. So one of the next courses that I was planning on building out is map, I guess map related. And there's a lot of fun concepts that can be taught in terms of navigation, finding locations, putting notifications or annotations onto the map. So there's a lot of good stuff out there that you can talk about. So one of the things that I like doing is just surfing either Behance, Dribble, or the other design websites for some of these ideas here. So this is, and what I look for is typically the screenshots of the applications first. And then I try to think about how I can utilize the designs and come up with my own lessons. So I try to find inspirations this way. And, I don't care about these login screen things. They're really boring by now. Onboarding. Oh my God, I hate onboarding. So there's different ways to navigate from place to place. Maybe I can teach you guys how to search for directions to a pin or, some kind of address on the map. That might be interesting. Let's see. Yeah, this might be good. So it's like a Uber style application. Yeah, it's not bad. I kind of like it. I'm not sure how complicated this type of course will be, but I think it's a good idea. What else is here? There's like a slide-in menu from the left. It's not super interesting to build those things again. Cool. I like it. I also plan on diving into Android courses and building out more Android lessons. So as I browse through screenshots, I'll look for things that are in Android also. Don't want to leave you guys out. The folks that are programming in Java and also Kotlin. It's a fun language. The more I program with Swift, the more I find it to be really tedious, and I find other languages more interesting. This app UI here, it's like some kind of collection view in the middle. We scroll left and right. Some kind of commenting list view up and down. I think when I was first starting out iOS development, building out a page like this was fun and interesting. And then after you get hired, all you do is you build out screens like this, like some kind of vertical list, insert some horizontal list, and then you pull down JSON data to present it inside of an iPhone screen. It all starts to feel the same after many, many years of developing technology. Calendar, question screen. I don't think I've done one of these for you guys yet. Wow, why is it fading off so dark? Okay, that's good. It's not a bad idea. Okay, so when I really want to find something specific, I'm gonna go iOS map. There's one app idea that I found to be really good. It was like a taxi. Maybe it's this one. So it's like a taxi, easy way to book your own ride. It's pretty much like an Uber. They even say Aber UIKit. So onboarding. Cool. I noticed a lot of people out there are using like Sketch instead of Adobe XD. I use Adobe XD because I have the Adobe suite of software. I mean, XD is free. I just use Adobe products. And like the last couple of courses, I've been setting out free like design files, and I only have the Adobe XD format. I think if I start using Sketch, it'll be more accessible to everyone. So I might convert to using Sketch. It probably won't take too long to learn Sketch. It's probably like 90% the same thing as Adobe XD. Okay, so Tenzin Sean says, what about a Netflix clone? Okay, so let me ask you guys. I've been thinking about building out a Netflix clone too. Where's my phone? I kind of wanted to look at a specific screenshot. Okay, you guys in the chat, tell me if you want to see a Netflix clone, and what about the Netflix clone do you want to see me build out? So let me grab a screenshot. Okay. Kamir said, thank you for your videos. You were very helpful during my summer training. Thanks in Saudi Arabia. That's cool. Kamar, Sib. Yeah, I get a lot of these comments just like this. I'm really, really grateful for everyone watching. Dills mentioned no, you don't want to see a Netflix clone. Map with Realm database. I don't use Realm a lot, so. Okay, everyone in the chat, tell me if you use Realm. It seems like a very small percentage of people actually use it. So I'm not sure if I want to prioritize on that. Clean architecture, I don't know what that is. So you guys are throwing out some really, I think clean architecture is popular, but not as popular as you think. Do I still review apps? Not so much. So if I get an app, if someone submits an app for an app review on the channel, I will do it if the app is good. Now, obviously good is very subjective to me, but I judge on a very high standard. So if it looks like shit, I'm not gonna review it. And a lot of people have submitted like shit quality apps, so I kind of just gave up and said, no, I'm not doing it anymore. The new course should be held out until you can do it in SwiftUI. So here's another really strange request from people. I get requests telling me to do the courses in SwiftUI. And I guess why do you want to do that? Or why do you want to learn about SwiftUI when no one's hiring you for that kind of job? You just want to learn it for yourself? I mean, eventually I'll put out SwiftUI courses, but like okay, everyone out there on the chat, tell me if you want to see courses in SwiftUI that you're willing to pay for. Like, I know some of you guys are more than willing to do that, to like learn SwiftUI just out of curiosity. But a lot of you guys are not going to pay for something that you can't use in a real job, right? See, so yeah, a lot of people are still, people don't want to learn SwiftUI just yet. Not now, maybe later though. Yeah, definitely later. When SwiftUI is out of beta, when Xcode 11 is officially released, maybe even the Golden Master, the GM version, then I will consider like putting together a project that I can teach, right? What about programmatic UIKit? Yeah, what about it? I'm totally what about programming? Teaching animation like fading things and moving things smoothly in Swift. This one is worth. Well, there's already a lot of those lessons on the website. How do I tell people that you can pay for stuff and learn things better? All right, yeah. Whenever I open up the Uber app, I think the little pull-up menu on the bottom is very interesting to me to kind of build it up. It's not incredibly hard. I've shown people how to do this in the YouTube course. So here's this like card view thing. Xnip is the app. Does the app still work in beta? Okay, is it this? Okay, this part of the application I find pretty interesting. Okay, this doesn't work in OBS. Never mind. PMouse. This works? No. This. Man, these tools are really hard to use. Is SwiftUI inspired by Flutter? I don't know, maybe. Isn't every technology inspired by something? Okay, so Rashab, you're facing a problem. I'm getting bored of what I'm doing. I've been a full-time iOS developer for the last 2 years. What do I suggest to do? If you're getting bored of iOS, which is totally reasonable, me having done it for 5+ years, honestly, I'm getting bored of it too. The only thing that like keeps me motivated is I have other projects like building the website, making these videos, doing Android apps, JavaScript apps, other languages, and touching the Firebase code, back-end coding, database stuff. Like, if you're only doing one technology, you're obviously going to get very bored of it. So I just suggest that you expand your skill set. There's nothing else that you can do. Rude boy 0. Hello, Brian. Is there a better way to contact you? I'm facing problems with coding. I wish I can help you, I guess. If I were to help everyone on the channel that had a programming problem, I would be very busy. Yeah. Design pattern scores. Okay. People in the chat, tell me what is the design pattern that you most want to learn about that isn't like extremely hard, because you might think that I know everything. Obviously I don't. I have to do a lot of research before these lessons that I put up on YouTube, and the research takes a lot of time, surprisingly, especially if it's a brand new topic that I haven't looked at before. So MVVM is like not something that I'm extremely experienced in, but I understand the foundation of why you would want to use MVVM. It's just the practical, the application of using it in a large project I haven't really done before. Putting it in a small project is like pretty easy. Ben Mitchell, can you do a sign in with Apple Video? Sign in with Apple Video in SwiftUI that actually works with a server, MySQL or something. I'll probably eventually make like a paid course on sign in with Apple and then hitting a custom server. So that's a good idea. I'll probably make that a paid course though. There's just too much to talk about there. Fractals generator. I haven't heard about that in a while. So Rashab, you're also an Android dev. What else could I suggest? I don't know. You have to ask yourself. So ask yourself if you're getting bored at your job, like what's causing the boredom to seep into your life? Is it because of the tech or is it because of the company? You know, as humans, we can't really stick to doing one thing forever. Like I'm not a programmer 100% of the time. Even when I was working as a developer, I didn't like programming 8 hours a day. I could do it, but I did a lot of design work with the designers too sometimes. You know, like UI, discussing about what's a good UI, what kind of UX we're looking for to promote like certain features, making the application more just purchase friendly. Yeah, we did all that. It wasn't just strictly programming. Where is the professor? Where's the professor? Yeah, what about mobile games? You know, if I had the time to learn mobile gaming, and I tried making a game a really long time ago. It was so hard. I have so much respect for people that build games. I remember interviewing for a job at this place that was looking for iOS game developers. I interviewed and I made it to like the final round, and there was a question that I wasn't able to answer. I can't even remember what it was. It had to do with like managing memory on the computer with some kind of recursion style solution. I couldn't get to it, or I couldn't get to the end, and I was not called back. Why are these apps so boring? Jesus. Okay, school bus track app. It's gonna track a bus. Provide school administrators and parents with an extensive range of features that allow school administrators to monitor their bus routes, communicate with parents, manage bus routes. What kind of, this is a strange app idea. Okay. If you guys have never worked with a designer before, you probably haven't seen these types of mocks in the wild. So as a professional developer, right? Normally you'll have a designer on the team that works with you, and they provide you with these types of screens, and before they go like full out and color everything and make sure everything is finalized, they'll sit down and discuss with you whether or not these screens will make sense, like in terms of UX, UI, and also the technical implementation of screens. If something's too crazy, then you can always compromise, I guess, negotiate with the designer, like what's not possible, or I guess what's not feasible with a given resources. Bus tracker. I still can't get over this strange app idea. I guess it's just like a concept. So notifications. Is this still working? It's still working. Okay. Okay, so here's a concept on AR. For you guys that are learning AR as well, in the chat, is AR hard? I remember building out like the proof of concept app like 2 years ago on my phone, and it wasn't like hard, but I couldn't really find a course or an idea to build an entire series of videos off of. And like, what kind of AR app would you guys want to see? Like, do you really want to see like a furniture building IKEA style app? Is that interesting? Yeah, you'll work with graphics, so I'll have to get up to speed on the little tools to make the 3D assets. I think you can build it using like Maya or something, right? And then import it into your Xcode project and have it like fully renderable in 3D. Maybe I'll hire someone to help me build assets too. Yeah. If someone can build out really cool assets, that'll give me the inspiration of building out the app. Unity, yeah. See, something like this idea here is like difficult, but not to the point where I don't think I can, I think I can manage in terms of getting the app and putting it together. But when it comes to building out a mobile game, that's a little out of my comfort zone. Yeah. I guess that's another tip for anyone that's newer to programming. Like, you want to get out of your comfort zone sometimes, but if you venture too far out, it's really easy to just give up entirely. I found myself in that scenario many, many times. It's part of the growing process as a developer, though. Constantly have to challenge yourself, but at the same time, you don't want to overdo it. Okay. So I remember looking like a long time ago for these mapping applications, and I just found it to be kind of boring. I don't know. Something about these apps are just boring. Maybe just having come from the AR app. Because AR is new. It's kind of like next thing. So AR and iOS. Do they have anything here? It's Pocket Branch. Facebook AR concept. Okay. I don't care about these logos. Why are they showing me these logos? Okay, discover nearby. Okay, I don't know if that's even possible. So you're just scanning people's faces. This is just facial recognition, right? McDonald's. Okay, so this is interesting. If you guys go onto Netflix, there is a movie called Anon so it's called Anon. And there's Amanda Siegfried and Clive Owens, I think that's his name. It's like an episode out of Black Mirror where you have an implant in your eye, and the implant is able to scan everything, kind of like what you're seeing here, and then these little bubbles will pop up telling you what things are. Right, you guys get the idea. And it was a decent movie. The ending is kind of very, very forgettable though. See what the movie plays. Okay, so you're in a group of people, a large group of people, strangers. You want to raise your phone And the magic begins. Okay, that was a horrible demo. It probably took them a lot of time to make that demo, but that was pretty sad. What is this? Let's see what the Russians have. The Russians always have good designs. So AR. So I guess the AR is the phone will pop up with these little tags when you hold up your phone, and they tell you where the people are in terms of distance relation. Okay, that's that sounds hard. Bit of chat apps. A lot of people request for like a chat app. I've already done like 5 of those, so I don't know why people keep asking for it. Okay. Pretty decent. So advanced animations. And it looks like what Uber is implementing. I haven't seen this. Like, to be honest, I don't use Uber that much. Beautiful background music, thanks. It's it is called Relaxing Summer Bossa. It's on YouTube. Alex said, we have good designs, but we build shitty iOS apps. Believe me, I am Russian. I've worked with developers from Belarus. He was a pretty good developer. So, there's always a bad apple out of the bunch. Try React Native. I don't think I'll ever do a React Native course unless maybe someone pays me to do it for like $200. Maybe I would do it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't. So like I mentioned earlier, most people, like if you scroll up in the chat, most people don't want a SwiftUI course. So, at the moment, we're not going to be doing SwiftUI. Kind of mentioned that earlier. Do I hear CI, CD, or Fastlane? It's just my tiny hope and dream. So CI. So I don't know a ton about Fastlane because if I worked at a real company, I would use Fastlane, obviously, but it's just not a tool that I use a lot. CI or CD can be an entire course itself. I don't know about CD. CD for iOS apps is like continuous. This is deployment. If you're continuously deploying a website application to a cloud server, this is more of a CD type thing. CI is interesting. How many of you guys want to learn about configuring a Jenkins box or configuring a some kind of service on the cloud that helps you test your iOS code? Is that something that you would really be interested in? This is more of a job skill that you should have. And yeah, like a lot of companies will actually have you be a part of the CI process. Sure. Alex said, what about server-side Swift course, Vapor Couture? So if you don't know already, right now, there's a full stack NodeJS course on the website at letsbuildthatApp.com. Everything is built out using Node. There's Vue.js, and then there's iOS, all in one course, and there's HTML and CSS, obviously. I was thinking about making a video on that course about why I don't use Vapor and Couture, because I find myself repeating this all the time. And I've been thinking about this a lot, actually. you have to ask yourself why you don't find a lot of Vapor and Couture and Swift server-side courses online. You have to really ask yourself why there just isn't a lot of material in it. And I guess one, it's like really new, so that's one like disadvantage of using Swift server-side. Vapor and Couture, both these frameworks are kind of not great, and there's a lot of heavy lifting that you have to do. So if you're new to backend programming, things that you don't want to do yourself is user authentication, and also maybe like setting up the routes or the routing layer yourself. Like, it's not hard, but if you find yourself typing out all the like manual heavy lifting boilerplate stuff, it gets really tedious. And I've done this like maybe through 5 or 6 different projects. And like overall, I wouldn't recommend doing that if you're new to backend development. So I guess long story short, there are tools that help you do the heavy lifting, like Rails for Ruby, Sails for Node.js, Python, Django. There's just a bunch of other tools. And if you're trying to use Vapor and Couture, you're stuck with just like doing all this manual code yourself. And anyone that's teaching this will never mention this fact. So just be aware that you're dealing with a lot of stuff that you don't have to deal with Couture or Vapor. What about the Trello app? So I've never downloaded the iOS Trello app. You know, eventually I might just get away from building iOS apps altogether. I find making websites to be way more fun. And you don't have to deal with Xcode, which is, one of my least favorite IDEs. So there's another website that Envato, Elements Envato. Okay, I'm gonna try to go here. There's iOS. So there's iOS, and you can search for. I think it's. I can't remember what it is. I think it's graphic templates. Graphic templates. Okay, yeah, it's graphic templates here. And they have some interesting ideas on this site too. I'm actually a subscriber. So I pay like $30 a month for this subscription plan. I don't use it a ton, but I guess I'm still paying for it. And there's like, they have some really good ideas on here. Obviously I can't find it right now, but they do. I want to see iOS and food delivery. Okay, so premium pack. What? Okay, I guess I have to download this thing. I don't feel like downloading it right now. Okay, so there's a My Wallet app. Wallet transactions. UpLabs. What are my thoughts on learning machine learning for iOS? I think it's a really good space to be in, machine learning. I guess, for example, if you had to choose between AR and ML, machine learning, I would choose ML. Like 9 out of 10 times I would choose to learn ML. Like for a career thing. If you're thinking about your career, I would go into ML. What is UpLabs? Premium UI downloads. Okay. Oh, I've never been to UpLabs. Wait, I think I have. So let's go for mapping. 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 Okay, iOS. Okay. So this is $6.99 a month to have a commercial license to this taxi app. I don't get it. What are you paying for? It's a demo. Why would you need to pay for this if you can just look at it and build it? I guess, what are you paying for the assets? I was actually, thinking about an app that's more aligned with a taxi booking app. I'm not a fan of this wireframe art, but it looks good. Expand this over. Okay. Like, do you guys want to learn about the process of making payments online? It's not like that hard. You just sign up for a Stripe or PayPal account and hook it up. Stripe is really easy because they provide you with their iOS SDK, and you just make one call to get this token, and then you just charge the token. You guys really want to see a payment style app? Auto recurring too, yeah. No, okay. So payment processing is of interest. Have you guys done payment processing before? So the other interesting thing is like Apple Pay through Stripe processing. Would it be better for the payment processing to be done on the server side just to avoid man-in-the-middle attack? Yeah. So what happens is, let me see if I can remember the process correctly. So here's the payment process, and this is on the Stripe documentation as well as PayPal's payment documentation. In terms of the payment processing, the entire, I guess you can call it the life cycle of the whole process. You ask, because there's always this man in the middle attack that can occur, right? So to be really safe about it, you first ask the server for like this one-time token that allows you to make charges against this one token. I guess there's like, that's a really difficult, well, it's not difficult. It's kind of complicated. You basically ask your server for this token, and then you use this token to ask like Stripe for more data. And then what you do with the token is you pass your credit card along with the token to Stripe. And then Stripe says, okay, I recognize this token. It's coming from this account. So, my account. And then it combines these two values of the credit card and the token and sends back like this one-time charge token. And then once you have this one-time charge token associated with your Stripe account, you then say, okay, here, charge this one-time token and take credit out of it. And eventually they'll link it back to your credit card, and then the payment will show up on the credit card statement. So you have to manage this entire process through the server and also the iOS app. And it sounds hard, but their iOS SDK and then their NodeJS SDK allows this process to be pretty seamless. Yeah. So I currently use PayPal and Stripe for my website, letsbuildthatapp.com. So I'm pretty familiar with to be honest, it took me like 3 weeks to build out the payment processing. First, I got the Stripe working. And then people were like making payments on the website. And the only option in the very beginning was Stripe or credit card payments. And then a lot of people were saying, okay, I need to pay you. I don't have a credit card though, because I'm not in the US. I guess credit cards are more popular in the United States. And then I was like, okay, I have to get PayPal working because I'm losing business on this. So I spent the next like three more weeks to get PayPal integrated. And yeah, it's a fun process, especially when you're dealing with money. It's fun. Yeah. Sign in with Apple. Yeah, I haven't done it myself, but if it's a really quick process, then maybe I'll make a video on it. But if it's a really quick process, you can probably learn it on your own. Can you guys tell me like what's the difficulty with sign in with Apple right now? Is it the lack of documentation, or is it the documentation itself? Yeah. You know, when I'm putting out these videos, I do the same thing you guys do too, right? I Google around and then I look at the Apple web page and I play around with the code for like a day. This is documentation. Okay, so let's see Apple sign in. So Apple sign in documentation. Is it really that bad, or getting started signing with Apple? Making signing in easy, planning example use case. Okay, guidelines. I suppose if you haven't done sign in before, then the terminology is confusing. Yeah, you have to deal with your Apple account too. I really don't like making videos where I have to browse into my own Apple account. I don't like showing that information on videos. B, I find that process both difficult, and then also the process updates and they introduce new screens and the screen changes. So the videos get out of date really quick. Where are the docs? Sign in with Apple.js. What is Apple.js? This is just Apple JavaScript. What is this? Huh. Ah, interesting. I guess. You know, one thing that I've been wanting to remove on the website is Facebook login. I don't like Facebook that much anymore. But is Apple sign in any better? I would take Apple sign in over Facebook sign in any day of the week. Okay, so it's Apple.js JavaScript. Oh boy, handle the authorization response. Okay. Yeah, this would be a pretty time consuming set of videos to make. I would do this once I have to like actually integrate it into my own website. Otherwise it's like really just a lot of busy work figuring out the docs. Not for website, but for iOS. Yeah, I'm talking about for myself. I'm talking about for my own website, not for your app. Because, as important as iOS apps are, I don't really, as a website developer, that's not the primary focus anymore. Okay. I don't think I can show these videos on stream. Okay. I mean, I can't imagine this process being any harder than like Facebook login, right? And the Facebook login is like pretty simple. You just have to follow the directions. Maybe I'm just oversimplifying it. Yeah. iOS Pokedex app. Okay. Gmail iOS app. Gmail doesn't look like this anymore. I should use Dribble as well. Yeah, I used to use Dribble, and then they made me sign up, or they force you to sign up for an account now, I think. Got kind of annoying, so I stopped using it. Zone movies. Okay. Maybe I'll just build out this stuff and I'll just put the source code in somewhere. Like maybe I'll just build this entire app and sell it for like $10. Yeah, I'll sell the entire source code for $10 if you guys want it. It's really fast to build it out. Recording the videos is what's very time consuming. Nothing really seems to be all that attention grabbing right now. I think the problem right now is like we've pretty much seen like app ideas over and over. The more you look at this stuff, the more desensitized you are to it. So I was watching the Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse movie yesterday on Netflix, and they had some very interesting concept ideas for like mobile apps on that movie. So maybe I'll watch that movie again and try to build out their concepts. Fun. You know, when you start looking at these designs right here, it seems really easy to just open up a design tool and just put up all these UI elements in one screen. As a designer, your job seems really easy. And if you try to build one of these things out using code, like you have to lay out this review button thing, figure out how to turn these stars highlighted versus or non-filled versus filled, turn this bar into some kind of percentage bar from left to right, make sure the fills are correct, have a vertical like table view or a collection view, get the JSON from the server, fill it out. I guess that's why developers get paid money or good money to do it. But, you know, honestly, having done it once or twice, what's this? A Spotify app design? Is it just me or the Spotify app looks worse than it used to? Although this isn't the current Spotify app. What about to-do app like Things 3? I know it seems simple, but they have incredible table view implementation. What is Things 3? Things 3? That's actually what the app's called. Things 3. I don't know what's like. It's probably a good app, but I don't see anything special about it. Yeah, Spider-Verse was, man, you guys should really watch Spider-Verse if you like comic books, animation. The story's good, but man, the animation and the artwork in Spider-Verse, oh my god. Like I thought it was a kid's cartoon. I mean, admittedly it kind of is, but it's, man, the animation is so amazing. I can watch that movie again, just watch it entirely for the artwork. It's so good. What is this? Do you guys want to start building out iPad apps? Is that important? That's always been something that's on my mind. For me personally, building out an iPad app is just the same thing as building out an iPhone app. Like the only thing that's different is the screen size is bigger. So all the concepts are exactly the same. You just lay out things a little bit more wide and tall. So Aegon the Conqueror, how about a full stack app with a Swift backend? Yeah, I think I mentioned this again, and just to repeat myself, I would never use Swift as a backend. That's just me. CarPlay. So CarPlay is interesting. It sounds fun. I just have a hard time conceptualizing how I would demo the CarPlay app. TUA iPad, how about a Mac app? Yeah, so a Mac app and an iPad app, those would be fun. With the introduction of SwiftUI, it'll be extremely easy to build these cross-platform-ish apps. Why don't I want to build a Swift backend? I think mostly because I hate Xcode. Yeah, I think it's mostly because Xcode is. It's not because Xcode, but I don't know. Trying to explain why Swift is not a great idea to someone that hasn't done backend before is kind of a futile. It's a futile attempt. The CarPlay simulator exists, right? Yeah. So we can start using the CarPlay simulator and see what we can do. I would personally want to have a CarPlay enabled car so that I can, get real life, real world ideas from it. If that's not the case, then it's hard to even justify building out a CarPlay app, in my opinion. As a motivation thing. Yeah. Yeah. An iOS TV app. Ray Wenderlich they had two things that they canceled on the Ray Wenderlich site. The first thing is they canceled Apple Watch courses because it seemed like no one was watching the Apple course videos and purchasing the Apple Watch course material. And then secondly, they canceled their Apple TV courses too, because no one was watching that content. They weren't going to the website for Apple Watch and TV content. So they killed it off. Right. So I don't know if you guys want to see Apple Watch content, but I'm going to follow what Ray Wenderlich has already found out. The results of them putting out Apple Watch content is not great, and they're a much bigger website than I am. So I'm just not going to do that. What do I think about wearables and other interesting future tech? I don't wear wearables personally. I'm not a really big tech person in real life. I like computers, but that's kind of the extent of me and tech. Yeah, so Kotlin and Android content will be coming to a website near you. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I will work on Kotlin stuff soon. Yeah. And to be frank, I'm just really glad to be working on JavaScript instead of full-time Swift. Yeah, I think I've said this before, but the channel is going to grow beyond just iOS development. It's not a very sustainable thing for me. Yeah, no one else is doing Android. Yeah. Whenever I decide to use the or build out Android courses, it'll be using this XML editor. I don't think I'll be building out everything in code. So the UI will just be using the what is that layout called? The layout that allows you to drag and drop stuff. It's been a while, but I'll be doing that. Please make the text bigger in stream. Well, I wasn't planning on showing website, just artwork. Okay, zone movies. Zone movies. Yeah. Yeah. So one idea I've been mulling over as of late is an e-commerce website where you buy things and you have to deal with like payment processing. So I was mentioning earlier about Stripe and PayPal. I think maybe I will put out an e-commerce website, and for the e-commerce course, I'm just going to deal with the website as one course, and then I'll talk about iOS integration as another course. Would that be? Yeah. See, that's the hard part. Building out these full stack courses where you have to have a server, trying to tie everything together with mobile. These courses are like gigantic. There's just too much to talk about, and it drains me, man. Blaze it 4:20 p.m. Blaze it up, man. Smoke that blunt. I used to the website right now uses React.js. I can't remember it's been like a year since anyone's ever mentioned React Native. So I don't do React Native. I mean, eventually I might do it and just put it on the website and just charge people. It's just one of those things that I don't like doing. So I'd love an app that requires more than just a standard UI tricks, UI table view, scroll view. I'm using apps like a keyboard or symbol garage, band clone would be great. Yeah. A music app. Don't waste your time on React Native. It's not a complete waste of time. It's just yeah, I feel the same way. Most of these apps are just a table view thing. Okay, here's an app that I might want to look at. So here it's really small. You can't even look at it. Okay. This one. Maybe one of these apps where you have different locations that you can go to, write a review. Okay. So, worth thinking about. I work in web dev. Everyone I talk to hates React Native. Yeah. Honestly, I would rather use a Flutter than React Native. The development experience with Flutter it's better. Like, for example, when you load up the simulators and you run the Flutter tool, things just work. Trying to do the same thing with React Native was kind of a headache. Yeah. So you're developing an app to play soccer and challenge local teams in local soccer fields. It's like a social network for amateur players. Yep. Sounds like a decent idea. Angela, you even made a new course on Flutter. Yeah. Yeah, I plan on making some Flutter content too. Google may kill it tomorrow. See, I don't buy that argument when people say that Google is going to kill these tools. So if you look at the history of toolkits with Google, you can see that, sorry for the noise, you can see that the things that Google does kill, it's actually the services like Google Circles. Is that what it's called? The social Google app thing, the many like 5 different chat services that they had. I find that they kill off services and not tech. So, have I tried SwiftUI yet? No, I haven't tried SwiftUI yet. What is it? I haven't heard of this thing called SwiftUI yet. Sorry. What is this thing off screen? SwiftUI is by Apple. Interesting. Nah, never heard of it. I mean, it'd be awesome if someone made videos on SwiftUI. That'd be really cool. When they do, please let me know. If you guys are curious what I'm eating, if you guys could just take one chocolate walnut, one each. Yeah. I'll let you try one. How does that taste? How does that taste? Good? SwiftUI was really busting my balls with beta 4, but I still love it. Seriously, though, any plans for SwiftUI? So we'll have a SwiftUI course coming after Xcode 11 comes out of beta. Whatever that is. My guess is around September 20th, it'll come out of beta. So that's a good 8-9 weeks away. Yeah, because right now, most of the basic foundation for SwiftUI is already out there. It's just, like you said, those bugs they're just a big time sink right now. Oh my God, these apps are so boring. Okay, here's something that's kind of interesting. This is just a vertical like list and then a horizontal stack view. Okay, what is this? A grocery store app. Okay. How many of you guys are upgrading to the next iPhone when it comes out on October? Like, I have an iPhone 10 from last year. I don't plan on updating or upgrading my iPhone until the 12 comes out. Is the one coming out this year going to be iPhone 12? Okay, quick pay. Quick pay. Depends if it's different enough, I'll change phones. If not, might get a Pixel for the change. Yeah. I don't want to brag or anything, but I have a budget Huawei and an iPhone 6s. I want to get an Android phone just for the hell of it. Mr. Joe, you plan to upgrade. What kind of phone do you have right now, Joe Yellow? I want to buy like a Samsung, maybe a Note. I really like the Note 10 because it doesn't have a notch. It has like a little small circle punch hole at the top. And the screen size looks glorious, man. But it's $1,000. I'm not sure if I want to spend $1,000 on it. I might buy a more budget Android phone that costs, I don't know, $400 to $500, just to use it for a while. The new Nokia. Nokia is coming out with a phone. Lufia, I'm just going to buy a phone that most people use to just test the apps. I mean, that's not a bad idea, honestly. The cinema app. Okay. Wow. Huh, that looks fun. What's for dinner? We can go to that Malaysian restaurant again. Just swing on by. same table where you sit a thigh to thigh, get the thigh action going on. What is the trending programming language for both iOS and Android? Looks like Swift is making its way to the very top. SwiftUI seems to be it's losing its steam after the initial rollout or the initial beta rollout. Looks like Android Kotlin is taking over more and more. Java is definitely taking a back seat, and it's good. I can't say that I was a super fan of Java. It was a good learning tool, but I think its time has slowly come to pass. Facebook redesign. This looks not great. I guess it does look better than the Facebook app. I like this thing here. You know these tab bars with this teardrop design? It feels so like 2014. This trend died out real quick. Dart. One of my thoughts on Golang. Smackaroonie not into curvy edges. Yeah, that edge is like super curvy. It's too circular. So Golang, the Let's Build That App.com website is built on Golang. If I were to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't use Golang again. You know, there are times when I want to make updates to the website, and then the reason why I don't write the update code is because the Golang stuff is it's pain. It's a pain to type out Go code. Like there's like strict typing, trying to convert a number to a string, trying to convert a string to a number. It's stuff that you probably don't want to deal with. Am I building anything today? I don't think I'm building anything today. What about the source code apps that you want to sell? Yeah, what about the source code that I want to sell? So I was working on a page on the website to just sell source code, and that's it. No documentation, no nothing. And I was almost ready to release something, but I felt like just having the source code, is that something that you guys really want? You guys don't care about any type of docs, any guidance on the source code as to like how it works, any explanation? Will you guys really be able to open the project, run it, just follow through the entire source code tree and figure out everything on your own? If you guys are able to do that, then I wouldn't mind just releasing the source code. You know, maybe I should just do it and see what happens. I feel like this is one of those things where you just do it and worry about whether or not the results are good after the fact. What do you think? You're a bunch of noobs. Okay, sniper side. Just for that, we're gonna build out a pretty complicated project. I'm just gonna release the source code, and if anyone complains about it, I'm gonna say, well, someone told me that you guys weren't noobs. I'm gonna die. A diet app. Maybe. Okay, let's search for a diet app. Maybe this will be the last thing I search for, and then I'll take off. So iOS and diet. Smartphone, mobile. These are like promotions. Meal planner, macros tracking. Okay, lose weight, get fit, gain muscles. Meal planning. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's decent. Food recipes. Yeah, there's some ideas that you can. May the force be with you. Yes. Can you make your courses subscription based? I've thought about that, but with the current website, it's already built out. I don't want to. It's just too much work to recode everything to make it subscription based. Daily exercise. Yeah. So another reason why the website is not subscription based is because initially I felt like if I were to just have a flat like $20 subscription a month, or maybe like $30, I would kind of feel pressure to constantly be pushing out content. Like I wouldn't want people to pay for the subscription if you're gonna subscribe to the website and not get content maybe every other day, or at the very worst maybe every other 2 days. I don't feel like the subscription would be worth the cost. So for me personally, having that pressure of having to constantly push out content, I didn't want that pressure. So I'm just doing things on a one-time pay, buy whatever you want. I'm not on the hook for producing content constantly. If I had that pressure, I would just go crazy. Like I wouldn't be able to produce much. I wouldn't be able to put out quality content either. I just feel like I would be mass producing things and doing things as fast as possible. So I think that is the reason why I didn't build the subscription into the website. So yeah, I like the per course fee better than a subscription. Yeah, it's too much pressure for me as a one man person to have a subscription model. if I had a team of 5 people where everyone focuses on different things like editing the videos, producing the content, research, customer service, answering emails. There's a lot of stuff. I guess I'm just being a big baby about it, but hey, and trying to hire people to do the things that I do. It's so hard to hire people to edit videos. Like I have to do the editing because only I know what content goes in and goes out, and what's cuttable and what's not cuttable. I guess I can hire someone to improve the website. Yeah. Your poor ass couldn't afford it. I don't know. The thing about the courses is, I was having a conversation the other day with a friend. The courses are like they're like $50 to $100 per course. You get the course, you find a job, the job pays you a lot more than that. So you have to think of it as an investment and not something that you pay for and you lose your money. Yeah. So Andres, I think it's more like an investment in yourself. And I mean, I strongly believe that once you take the courses, you'll get much more out of it in return. So Lufia asks, why do I use Udemy? And so let me answer your comment. Okay, so Andrew says, I'm right, I'm still a worthless uni student though. So Andres, can I ask you how much you're paying for your university? And I'm not trying to be mean-spirited about it. I'm sincerely curious about how much you're paying for your university, your tuition, maybe your room and board, the dorms. I can't imagine that being cheap, right? Unless, you're going to community college. Even community college nowadays is not a cheap thing either. I went to community college. I went to Sacramento City College before I transferred to university. Andres Lopez, are you in the United States? Hey, Landon Hughes. How's it going? Yeah, so back to the question about Udemy. Just watch that video on Zendesk. So Zendesk, search for that on YouTube, Zendesk and Udemy. And the thing with Udemy is, my Saturday is good too, Landon. Got it. So Andres, you're kind of in between. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm in California. I get the whole debate. Yeah. So there's been people putting up my courses on Udemy, and they're like trying to be an imposter. They're claiming to be me on Udemy. And so there's a lot of like piracy. And then Udemy doesn't really do much to prevent the piracy and to prevent the or to even enforce copyright and who owns what content. So here's what I'll say. Udemy is a great platform for students and a horrible platform for content creators. So Johan Albertson, how did you build the AppStore animation? So the animation is really simple. You have a starting frame and the ending frame, and then you just execute UI view animation, and that's it. So there's nothing really special behind it. It's really that simple. Alana Valicera, how's it going? Let me see if I can pull up the AppStore code. Let's see. XR, it's gonna work. Hopefully it'll work. Haven't converted the project to Swift 5 yet. Jace McPherson, Jace, how do you pronounce that? After so long of being an iOS tutorial maker and less time close to the industry, do you worry about feeling behind? Sometimes, I guess yes and no. So here's the animation that Johan was talking about. So there's this. This is all in the YouTube or in the AppStore course. The apps are here. Hopefully this stuff doesn't crash on me. Click on that and go to that. Oh, looks good. But yeah, the app still works. JSON without the on, so Jace. Cool. Honestly, having been out of development for a while, I don't really feel like I'm being left behind. I'm still, I guess, in certain aspects, like how to work on a large iOS application within the context of a large team, then yeah, I do feel left behind in that regard. But in terms of like the technology of Swift, everything is evolving, and I'm studying as much as I would in a regular job. So yeah. And at the same time, I'm doing other things that are more useful than focusing all my energy on Swift. So, making videos, editing, and learning about backend and all this other stuff. Because I think it's much more helpful than being so specialized. But, there's obviously pros in being a specialist. I'm just not in that camp. Brian has more than enough money to care. I understand, but it could be so awesome to have access to all your courses. Yeah. I guess you can always pay for it. I know that's not an option that's available for everyone. I don't ever see myself implementing like subscription, because it's kind of hard to change things now. Jacob Isom, UI building elements is really not extremely difficult. Agree. What would you recommend for learning how to build a chat app with server implementation for multiple users? I guess I would recommend building out the server first, so that you can get it working for for a website and not just an app, and then go from there. Man's gotta eat. Jace McPherson. That is something that I will wholeheartedly agree with. I'm curious what the difference would be financially with the numbers if I made everything subscription versus paid separately. Like the numbers right now are good, but maybe it would be better if it was subscription based. Like let's just for the sake of argument, let's make the subscription like $24.99, like $25 or maybe $30 a month for a subscription. Then after 3 months, someone's gonna end up paying like $90. And maybe there's more money to be made that way. There's really no way of testing it now, but maybe. Bought Office courses, still not good. Coding. So coding is one of those things where it's not like any other. It's not a discipline like what you learn in school. Coding is like being a carpenter. So when you're a carpenter, right? You have to understand how to, put together a roof. And you have to do everything with your hands and get really, really into the craft. And coding's like that. If you're not into the craft, then yeah. Hello. I should definitely do an updated Flutter series. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a Flutter course on the website. This way I can get more familiar with everything that's going on in the Flutter world. I've been thinking about hiring. I don't know if hire is the word, but maybe getting someone to explore different technologies and report back to me with their latest findings. Like someone to actually build out a real project with technologies like Flutter and like web technologies, React, Vue, some backend stuff. Just have someone that makes proof of concept apps and tell me what the development experience is like. That would be nice to have someone do that, because me having to do it, I would have to do it eventually, but it'd be good if someone could do that. Yep. Does Flutter compile down to JavaScript now? HTML and JavaScript? How does that work? Or do you have to run it off the Dart? Like Google Chrome's Dart? Francisco Delgado, get back to you. Planning on a 3-month project with AWS serverless and Golang. And Flutter for the client. Yeah. Sounds like a good stack. I always advise everyone to explore a lot of tech. Try not to just stick with one stack. Especially Swift. Swift is such a niche and narrow piece of tech. I think one of the reasons why building out web projects is so much more appealing to me right now is, all you have to do to access a web app is a browser, and that's it. The browser should render out your app, and you can do everything you want inside of a web-based platform. For iPhone apps, like if you're just learning Swift, the only people that will ever access your app is someone that goes into the App Store, downloads your app, and then opens your app and decides that they want to use it and keep using it. That barrier is so high that sometimes I wonder if whether or not like iPhone development is the best way to go. Like there's obviously a lot of jobs in iPhone development, like more than you can ever ask for. But being a web developer makes a lot of sense too. But yeah, for some reason I was more drawn to mobile development before web development. Yeah, I can't remember why exactly that is anymore. I think maybe because, I guess the emergence of mobile devices during that time, 7 or 8 years ago, that's most likely the reason why I was drawn to it so much. Most likely. Sniperside, I've been trying mobile dev for the last year. You appreciate web so much more now. Yeah, man. Same here. Same here. Dart has an optimized JavaScript compiler. What about the styling? Is everything styled through the JavaScript engine as well? Or is there like some kind of CSS file too? For web projects, I wouldn't do anything other than JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. If I'm gonna rely on some tool to compile down to this type of code, I probably wouldn't rely on it. Because the thing is, building out websites is extremely easy. I wouldn't want to use another tool to further complicate it. That's my logic. Lufia, you've made a chat app but 0 downloads. So here's a marketing tip for you, or here's a general tip in terms of like entrepreneurialships. Is that even a word? Of being an entrepreneur. If you're trying to build something out, right? And it's like this idea that you build it out, you launch it, no one uses it, and then you're wondering, oh, how come I don't have any users? So you're kind of going about it backwards. The first thing you have to do is to generate users, and then you build your app. If you build the app and then you try to generate users, then you don't have any users. It's probably better if you start off with users and then you build the thing. Right? You get what I'm saying? So let's take this channel, for example. What if I did everything the other way around, right? So let's say I built out 50 different courses and had a website, and the website, you can just buy all these 50 courses for everyone that wants to buy it. And then I build it out, I launch it, it's live, and I have 0 users. No one's buying anything, and I feel like a failure. Like, this is literally something I could have done. I could have went that route, but instead I chose to go the other way around. So I found a bunch of users that enjoy the content, and then you build up a user base first, and then you release a thing that you have people, you charge people for. So yeah, it's very hard to find those people. It's super niche. So if you already know that your product is super niche and your category is just really narrow, then it's probably better if you do the upfront research of whether or not you can acquire users first. So if you can't acquire users, but you have a really good app idea, then you still have no users. So should you really buy, or should you really build out your app idea even though you don't have any users? To me, it's a very easy decision to make. If I don't have users, I'm not going to generate money, so I'm not going to build the thing. That's my logical conclusion. But I know so many people go the other way around, where I have a really great idea, I have the tech stack that I want to use, it's going to be awesome, I just need to build it out, and then I'll find my users. So many people fall into this trap. I know. I used to think this way. I've had many ideas die in the App Store because I didn't have any users. Yes, Felipe Demanda says, entrepreneurs first identify a problem, need, and then come up with a solution based on that, and then build your solution based on the need. It seems like you're trying to reinvent the wheel. Yeah. Primary market research helps a lot with that. Make an app for your courses. Yeah, okay. How about I make an app for the courses? Maybe I'll make an app and then release it by the end of this year. I'll try to release something by the end of this year. You wanted to be first to market? Well, you're first to market. It's just the market has 0 people. Yeah. And, no one's really to blame if you have 0 users. It's just a learning experience. I've gone through the same thing. You build out something that's really cool and you have no users, but yeah, I built it. The service is out there right now. No one's using it. And now you know. Learning experience. Now the next thing you want to work on, right? You're going to learn from this mistake, and you'll be better for this experience. So for me, building out this whole channel and website, it's been successful. I would consider it a success for me. but this isn't the very first thing that I've ever worked on. And I'm older. I can take failures, and I can take on risk, and I can gamble on certain things. After learning what I've learned over the past 10 years of both software development and also failing at different ideas and startups and seeing why things fail, you sort of understand what's worth taking the risk and what's not. And then you make your next bet. You make your next gamble. And here I am right now. How many times have I failed in the past? Oh, there's been so many projects I've released onto the AppStore and the Google Play Store. Some ideas I've worked on for like 3 months. 3 months of staying home, working a full-time job, every night, weekends, just constantly hammering at new code, and then finally releasing the app. No users, no one. And that's because I never did the user acquisition. So I kept doing that for some reason. I'm thinking, if I just have a good idea, then people will come. If you build it, they will come. That's a line that comes from a famous American movie. I think it's called The Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. But no, if you build it, they won't come. They won't come. You have to have something that attracts people first, and then they'll come. People just don't magically appear out of nowhere. Fer and I have spec'd out an app, and we are stuck in the failure to actually code. I don't really have enough experience in actually coding. He's more of an architect and doesn't think he would. Coded properly, what is your suggestion to get us out of this place? So Jeremiah Adams, if you build it, he will come. Is the he speaking of his dead father? I think that movie was his dead parents, right? So Jeremiah, if you're stuck in starting to code, I don't know. There's 2 different pieces of advice I can give you. A true developer never gets stuck with coding. So if you have a good idea, then that means your idea is going to take a lot of work to build out. Like when I say a lot of work, I mean at the very least a month of nonstop coding. So if you can't even see yourself doing a day of coding, then there's no way you can do a month of coding. So from this pessimistic perspective, very pessimistic point of view, I would say try to find someone that actually wants to do the code. If you can't see yourself doing the code, then it's not going to happen. Just admit that it's not going to happen. That's the first thing. Not sure. I always thought it was if they will come to. Yeah. Is it not they will come? He will come. So I'm referencing the Kevin Costner movie, Field of Dreams. I could have sworn it was like a baseball movie. And if you build the field, I think he was talking about building a baseball team and then the field. That movie is like what, from the 90s? I think I'm dating myself here. I was like a little boy, 8 years old when I was watching that movie. I can barely remember the point. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be discouraging to people that are looking to code, referring to the town, not the father. Yeah, it's a town. It's like a group of people, right? Yeah. Yeah. So here's the more optimistic view of starting a project. Just like anything in life, when you want to start doing something that's completely new, like let's say for example you want to learn how to paint, and you have no idea what brushes and how to mix paint and how to even get a thing on a canvas. Well, you have to have someone like either show you the ropes, or you have to be inspired to start doing it. So let's talk about the inspiration part of it. If you're not inspired to do the thing and you can't find that inspiration, there's absolutely no way you can continue on that entire journey for a month. So if you can Stack Overflow, find the joys of solving the puzzle that is programming, then slowly, day by day, line by line of code, you'll conquer this ginormous task that is building out an application. Again, it's not easy. This is why people get paid a lot to write out apps. But all it really takes, honestly, is that one little thing that inspires you. For me, the inspiration comes from, things I like. I like UI that looks great. I like putting things on a screen that, to me, is visually and attention grabbing. I like that. So that's where I find my inspiration. You might find it somewhere else. So you want to identify that inspiration and you want to hold on to it and make it work for you. If you can't, don't even bother, really. The coding train, and this channel is my go-to for coding. Yeah. Try until you succeed. Everything can be learned. There are so many resources now. Professor Brain inspires. I think 贫穷限制了我的想象力。A lot of, I think, what do I want to say about that? Everything can be learned. There are so many resources now. I'm going to push back on that a little bit. So I'm more of a realist and more of a pragmatic person. And you probably don't mean that everything can be learned, right? It's most likely hyperbolic, what you're saying. Everything can be learned, but, I'm not going to learn how to throw a football like an NFL player and throw it perfectly to a guy that's, 200 meters away. That's never going to happen for me. So everyone has their limits, but I think learning how to code is very accessible to everyone. The only things I need to brush up on are inheritance and abstraction. Yeah. Yeah, I think Udemy was ripping off the courses. Yeah, there are some pirate sites out there, unfortunately. Yeah, let's avoid the topic of piracy. Yeah. So let's just remove this. Yeah. There's unfortunately piracy that's going on, but there's only so much you can do about it. On that disappointing note, I think I will. I'm gonna start working on the rest of the last course that we're pushing out, and then we'll talk about what other future courses we can build. Yeah. Yeah, I might take it easy. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, haven't really had a break from making videos and courses. I think I might just take it easy for today. I've been reading a book called Why We Sleep by this really, really good author. And he's been, in this book, there's just been a lot of good facts about why we sleep, how we do it, what the point of sleeping is. And I'm not gonna lie, the past 2 or 3 years just haven't been able to get really good sleep. It's a reoccurring problem. And Freemy just bought that book yesterday. Wow, that's what a coincidence. I guess it's a really popular book too. I have it. It's actually downstairs, but so in that book, I've only read like the first 50 pages. So the thing about sleep is that you are programmed to have a really kind of like a pattern. They call it a circadian rhythm. So basically you have to sleep within the pattern of your cycle of your body. And regardless of whether or not you sleep, your body goes through the cycle no matter what. And that rhythm, that you can monitor your body temperature, and during certain parts of the day, or the rhythm during certain parts of the cycle, your body will dip and rise in temperature regardless of whether or not you've slept or not. So the problem with not sleeping is that if you, after a certain point, you have this buildup in a chemical in your brain, and it just tells you to sleep. And if you don't sleep, then that chemical will just knock you out. After a certain amount of time, you'll have to sleep. Otherwise, you can't function. And so the reason why we sleep is, there's a lot of reasons. There's no concrete evidence as to why exactly we sleep. But some of the effects of not sleeping is like diabetes, higher risk in cancer, memory loss, just a ton of different reasons, or a ton of different ill effects that can happen and that you can experience if you don't get enough sleep. So I found this book to be very enlightening, I guess. I mean, we know this already. And there's a lot of good facts in here that seem to be obvious, but if no one really mentions it, you kind of take it for granted that this is actually what's happening with our bodies. So to me, it's been a good read. If you guys have any other books to recommend as to, like, I really like these books about the evolution of the human body. It's really fun to learn about it. So if there's any recommendations for other books similar to that, do drop a note, let me know. Okay, so here's another thing I'll say. So you often see some people are proud of staying late and not sleeping a lot, but you don't understand why. Okay, so the book also mentions this other example. And the example is that people are born differently, and our circadian rhythm that determines when we want to sleep, it differs quite a bit between people in society. So the book goes to say that about 60% of us, we are like normal, quote unquote normal, And this means we are people that sleep at around 12 p.m. and wake up at 8 a.m. And then for the rest of the day, we're like perfectly functioning human beings, right? We're really alert at what we're doing. We're not drowsy. We're not exhibiting weird, strange behavior. So this is 60% of us. And then about 30% of us tend to be what we call late night owls, I guess night owls. And our circadian rhythm kind of forces us to sleep later in the night. So, you know, sometime around like 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning is when the sleep chemicals are the strongest. So, you know, people differ in this way. And the reason why we have this is because, or this is the hypothesis, you know, no one knows for sure. But as a society, right, maybe early days in the hunter and gatherer days, it's nice to have people that sleep early. Like let's say a group of people in the same tribe, maybe they slept at 9 p.m. and that means that group is just sleeping, and they'll wake up at like 5 a.m. in the morning. And then the later night owls, they are staying up to protect the entire group until like 2 a.m. And then most of that group will go to sleep. This means you'll only have 3 hours of everyone sleeping and no one protecting the tribe. So this is the hypothesis behind the evolution of different sleeping patterns. And it makes sense. Like I don't totally buy it, but it makes sense. It's a good argument. Yeah, it's been a while since I've read any type of book, and it's been a great book so far. But yeah, that's it for today. Maybe I'll bring in some more knowledge about why we sleep the more I read this book. So see you guys.